Let's talk about the Telecaster and why I love them so much, and why I happen to have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Well, technically I have 2. But this is my journey of the guitar I consider the most versatile guitar on the planet, and my favorite electric guitar of all time. So let me share my journey of how I started playing and loving Telecasters. So long story short, I grew up playing Super Strats because my older brother started out playing with an Ibanez, and he gave me his first Ibanez guitar when I started learning how to play electric guitar. And all my musical influences when I started playing guitar were rock and blues guys, including Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Johnson, Paul Gilbert, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen, all those guys. Those guys are my guitar heroes. Paul Gilbert's my favorite guitar player of all time. So when I started playing, I thought I was going to be more of a Strat guy, obviously because of my musical influences. But every time I played a typical Fender Strat, it felt really uncomfortable to me. I didn't like the way that the neck felt. I didn't like how the middle pickup kept getting caught in my picking, and I didn't like how the whammy bar worked. So that's why I leaned more towards Super Strats. But the first time I really gotten to notice the Telecaster was when my brother came home from a trip to Japan, and he brought home this yellow Telecaster, this Fender Japan TL68 Mongolian Chop Squad Beck Telecaster, which is still the coolest Telecaster I've seen to this day. I remember when I was a young kid and I went to this guitar store with my older brother in the city of Sydney, and he told me that the Telecaster might be the best guitar you'll ever hear. And at that time I didn't really think about it because obviously the music I was listening to was blues and rock orientated, a lot of shredding stuff. All my guitar heroes and the music I listened to were either playing these 24 fret shred guitars, or they were playing Les Paul, or they were playing Gretsch. And besides the Super Strat, I always thought that the Gretsch was the best guitar I've seen and heard besides these. So my brother got the Telecaster and I thought it was really cool, but it wasn't when I really started to play it one time that it really caught my attention and went, wow, this guitar can pretty much do anything and everything I want. I was just blown away of how well it sounded for all those genres. And I loved the way that the neck felt on the Telecaster. I loved how there wasn't a middle pickup, and I just loved how simple it was, and it really puts out what you put in. I could make the guitar sound like a funk machine, I could make the guitar sound like a jazz guitar. I could make the guitar sound like a country guitar. It was really great. So I knew immediately right then and there I wanted a Telecaster one day. Now let me take you through the journey of how I acquired my first Telecaster and how I winded up getting 4 Telecasters and probably more counting, and the reason why I played Telecasters so much. So there was actually a point in time of my life where I actually stopped playing electric guitar for about 3 years when I was in the 7th all the way to the 9th grade. And then I decided to pick it up again, and my dad was just like, hey, because you're playing guitar again, why don't we get you a new guitar? So I was like, yeah, sure, I would love to get a new guitar, especially since I've been playing with that old Ibanez I had for so long. And my first thought on getting a new guitar wasn't a Telecaster. It was this guitar right here, this 25th anniversary Ibanez RG. And I love this guitar to death. I've done so much and I owe a lot of my music career to this guitar. My first gig was done with this guitar. I was playing Broadway type musicals on this guitar. I was doing everything. And I absolutely have no issues with this guitar. But there's something about a Telecaster tone that just works. And in my last year of high school, I was introduced to players like Matteo Cesato and Lara Basilio, who really shaped how the Telecaster could be played and how the Telecaster sounded in so many different genres, whether you be playing jazz fusion, rock, and even more melodic style. I've never heard a Telecaster neck pickup just sound so nice and smooth, and the bridge pickup sounds so fat like those Sir Telecasters those two were playing. So when it came to my last year of high school, what I wanted for my graduation gift was a new guitar. Initially what I wanted was the Fender Richie Kotzen Telecaster. I loved the way that the neck felt on that. I loved the fat baseball neck. I loved how nice and fat the pickup sounded, and I loved the sunburst with the flame top and the binding. I thought that was really cool. But when I went to the store to go and look for it, it got sold out in the same day I arrived at the store. So instead I ended up getting the Duesenberg Starplay TV, which is an amazing guitar. I love this guitar to death. It's also a really super versatile guitar. It's got like your Telly type control of just 2 pickups and a 3-way switch, volume tone, which is really cool. But I was still missing that Telecaster vibe, that solid body vibe, because sometimes when you be playing on the P90 with higher gain, the bass frequencies on this guitar can get a little too woolly, so I wanted something a little more tighter, and I know that the Telecaster can deliver me all these amazing tones with everything being so balanced and cutting through a mix. So the way that this guitar came along was I was hanging with my friend Lucas Laspina, who is an incredible guitar player and also a great guitar tech. And this guitar needed to be fret dressed because the frets were getting worn out after all the years I've been using this guitar on the daily. And he recommended me to go to his friend Timo Tolvanen over at Tolvanen Guitars to get this guitar fixed up. And he told me that he makes Telecasters as well, so not only would this be a good opportunity for me to get my guitar fixed, but also try out the guitar and see if you'd like it. So I go into the workshop of Tolvanen Guitars, I meet Timo, and immediately in the corner of my eye, I spot this guitar hanging on the wall. And I just go, hey, am I able to try that Telecaster over there in the corner? So I pick up this Telly, I strum my first G chord, and immediately it was the sound I was looking for in a Telly. The bridge pickup sounded nice and fat and punchy. It had the neck pickup which sounded like a Strat. It had the sunburst color with the double binding, and it has the fat C-shaped neck like the Richie Kotzen Telly. It was everything I was looking for in a Telly at that time, and this guitar delivered. So after doing so many sessions and being able to tour with this guitar, I realized that the Telecaster is the ultimate guitar for me. It fits in any genre, it works with any amp, it works with any pedal. Anything you want your guitar to sound like, the Telecaster can deliver it. And after doing touring and sessions, after the way that this guitar was killing it, I had to ask for another one. So that's why I have 2 single coil type Tellys in my arsenal, and I just love them so much. I can't get enough of them because they really are the ultimate guitar for me. They pretty much just do anything and everything I want. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed my journey of how I winded up loving the Telecaster. I hope that this inspires you to buy a Telecaster. And if you're interested in some of the guitars that are in this video, I have the links in my description down below. And if you're interested in more things I do musically, head over to my website at www.jemmuel.music.com, where you can see all my music production stuff, my Line 6 Helix and HX presets, and all these other cool things. So once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and you have yourself an awesome day. Peace out.